Welcome, welcome, blessings. Welcome to He Vibes, She Dives. We are your hosts.
I'm Timber.
And I'm Lady Drasmin, and we talk spirituality, higher magic, and anchoring the new Now Earth timeline over a ceremonial pot of our cacao. We are working still with the Mayan cacao. I made it a little extra thick today, just because that's what it called for. So we get to choose our topic, free flow talk about the topic, and then the following weeks, Timber comes in, and then I come in. We continue expanding on the topic, answering your comments and questions on this shared podcast, video cast. So if you have questions, comments, thoughts, insights, thank you so much for sharing them. We love hearing from you, and it helps us see things in a different light.
Truly.
Mm-hmm.
We're a community.
We are.
We all need each other.
Community. You gotta come together to be in unity.
Truth.
So, what are we choosing today?
I don't know. Is it my turn or your turn?
I can't remember, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes looking at them makes it even worse because you're like,
Oh, look! Plant Medicine's cacao. No wonder I felt called to make it extra thick today.
that would make sense.
We're going to talk about cacao today.
And other plant medicines.
And other plant medicines, yes. I believe we have one in here that's other plant medicines.
No, I think that one was like plant medicines. We use like cacao as like, well, maybe not.
I think we had talked about like plant medicines as a whole, and we wrote cacao and cannabis and other plant medicines. But let's start with cacao.
But where are we at right now with our episodes? What number are we at?
We are, I believe this is number 11, and it's 12 per season.
So we may or may not even get to
Right.
12 or the other plant ceremonies. So we can definitely sneak them in a little bit, but cacao is definitely
the main one. Well,
because I think it's both of our one of our favorites, right?
Definitely. Look at how thick that is today.
Oh, that looks amazing. Mahalo. Thank you.
I'm finally toning down, like fine-tuning the point of heat. Now that we're on the cups. Now that we're about to wrap season 1, I finally got the shit figured out.
It'd be like that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh. Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have the problem of like trying to put their cacao towards their heart and not dip their beard in it? I wonder how many times I've walked out of the ceremony and like my beard's like, just suck on that for later. It's like leftovers.
So
the gift that keeps on giving.
Keep sharing about how you drink your cacao through your beard in a cup.
It's the ways of not giving a fuck. The art of not giving a fuck.
I feel like cacao medicine does tap us into that though, right? Like the art of not giving a fuck. Because like we're so... Okay, so let's first talk about what is cacao for people who might not know. What is cacao to you?
I'll touch on that, but you are really good at explaining the core of cacao and the originations and the people. And so would you mind starting us off with that?
Yeah.
And how what you know about the connection and where it comes from.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean? Yeah. So cacao, a lot of the big question that I get is how is cacao different than chocolate? Because it comes from the same cocoa bean. Cacao is raw, unrefined, unprocessed, directly from the cacao bean. And so what it means is that it hasn't been diluted with sugars. It hasn't been refined. It hasn't been processed. It is a raw medicine that comes directly from Mother Earth. And so that is part of what gives it the properties to be a heart expander. And scientifically, if we're looking at the physiology of cacao and how it affects our heart, it has the capacity, it has the ability to expand your heart muscle cells up to 40%. Like that's a lot. Okay, so if your cells are this big and they're widening up to 40% more, there's more oxygen that can go in your cells. And the more oxygen we receive, the more we think. the more open we are. And so because this oxygen is coming in through our heart space, we have a greater capacity to be compassionate for ourselves, have compassion for the world around us, be receptive to those inner wisdoms, be receptive to allowing certain things to pass through us, like shame and guilt and anger and so on and so forth, because it's not just stuck there in that cell. Now there's a little bit more opening. It can flow through. So those are the physical properties of cacao. And the way that I was introduced to cacao is with intention. Like, it is a plant medicine. And plant medicines, as a general way of connection, are connected to with intention. There is a plant medicine, whether it's cacao, whether it's cannabis, whether it's blue lotus, whether it's datura, whether it's mullein, sage, palo santo, whatever medicines that are used internally or externally, it is the intention that amplifies the medicine. So the cacao by itself has the capacity to open your heart cells. But if you don't create an intention, and an intention is a bridge, it's like, this is where I would like to meet you, and this is where I'd like to be met. And then the plants, because they're sentient beings, they hear, they feel your intention, and they rise to meet you. Because they don't have to do fucking shit. And there are people who have gone through experiences with plant medicines that don't experience them. They're like, that there was nothing happening for me. It's because they didn't have intention, and within that intention, belief. It's not enough to just set an intention. We must also believe that we're going to be met. And that requires a level of trust and connection. And so cacao is traditionally ceremoniously served as a very thick liquid without any sweetener. I always add spices into it. I do the Ayurvedic way, so I use cardamom. Today I added cardamom, cinnamon, and nutmeg, and a little bit of vanilla. It just helps like bring the flavor of the cacao into the body. And every once in a while, I will add maple syrup, especially when it gets super thick, just so it's a little more palatable. But I use maple syrup over, say, like sugar, which is processed, or honey, which is an option, but like the minerals, that's the word, the minerals that maple syrup has that honey doesn't have keeps the purity of the cacao, whereas honey can slightly alter it.
Fascinating.
So today I added a little maple syrup because I made it on the thicker side. And you can taste that, like, so yummy, delicious, heartwarming yumminess. Really yeah, yesterday I made a really thick, like you could like cut it with a knife thick, maybe not that thick. Yeah. So I started sipping on cacao about 7 years ago. I actually don't remember my first cacao experience, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But it's just something that came into my life. And at first I was like, ooh, hot chocolate, whatever. But it wasn't until I really started sitting with cacao regularly that I started to notice the effect. At first I was like, oh yeah, we're just going to have a hot chocolate after ceremony. Like, it didn't really like register for me. But then when I kept hearing about cacao ceremony, cacao. It's like, okay, I'm just going to create something for myself. So I started making myself cacao, and I sat 3 weeks and I had cacao every day for 3 weeks, and just like really connected with, what is this medicine for my heart? Show me how to be heart-centered through you. And I only sat with cacao. I didn't have any other chocolate in my life, which as a woman was really hard, not gonna lie.
That'd be hard for me too.
Right? Yeah, I mean, like, chocolate kind of makes the world go round. So that's my experience with cacao. I sat with it for 3 weeks very intentionally. And in fact, I remember towards the end of that 3 weeks experience, I was so blasted open that I almost became non-functional, because I could feel everything so deeply. And I was just like, back then, I was not very comfortable with my tears. And I'm like, I can't be crying at my work while I'm working on these blood specimens for my patients, you know, like, this is not going to work. So, like, it kind of made me angry that I was so emotional. Because I didn't have awareness of how to work with my emotional body. I didn't know how. I said, show me how it feels, but I didn't say, show me how to work with these feelings, you know? So it's like I learned also the power of clear and intention. And like what you ask is what you're gonna get. I asked it to show me how I feel, and it showed me how deeply I felt, but damn, that was a lot of feelings. So I stepped back from receiving cacao within me and I started serving. And I did one-on-one cacao ceremonies for several years until last year when I expanded into group service in a more immersive way, which I'll dive into perhaps in a moment. But over to you. That's my experience with cacao.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a great backstory, and it helps us. And also, just you expressing the ingredients you use. You know, like the whole maple syrup versus honey. I never heard that before. That's a good tip. A lot of good info. Thank you. For me, it's like I don't remember the exact first one, but I remember my ex. Took me to a ceremony, and they did cacao, and I just remember, oh my God, the first cacao ceremony I had. The night before, me and my ex had broken up, and she came back out, and I was in Tennessee at the time. We went to Asheville. Long story short, we were on this property that had like 26 or more portals open. And that night, we got back together. We connected that night, accidentally opened up our kundalinis that night, got cosmically fucking married because we got blasted into space. I remember we both were just out there. And the next day, the lady that owned the land was just like, would you both like to have a cacao ceremony? And I remember just like, I was already kind of fucked up, and I didn't even know why. Like, I felt like the surgence of, you know what I mean? We both did. We're just both like, whoa. That cacao ceremony was amazing. But anyways, I started incorporating cacao into my everyday after the breakup, because my heart was so broken. And so I asked cacao if it would help me with my healing. And so I put it every day in my coffee, and I always blessed it and did a little and it's been a year and a half, and I still do it every day. Because at that time, I'd also was still processing my dad dying, my queen leaving me, and my toe. So I was feeling broken in all aspects of a human being all at once. You know what I mean? And cacao helped, like, I felt like it really, between that and going to sound baths, the two of them was like a combination that I needed. But I remembered last summer, I think you were there too, at the Convergence, the Coalescence Convergence. It was like a 3-day festival. But anyways, the musician Mose was about to perform. And I got to participate in they shared cacao and did a cacao ceremony with over 200 people. And they expressed how they're trying to change the music industry to where when they go to events and stuff, it's not alcohol that you can buy and drink, it's cacao to open your heart so you can connect with the community and the people dancing with you. That was
life-changing.
It changed everything in my brain in that moment of seeing, like, that night afterwards. I was like, holy fuck. That is needed. That is powerful. And I was like, can you imagine if we start doing that at like bigger events?
Or just at the club, at the nightclubs.
Seriously.
Like, no alcohol served tonight. Tonight you get elixirs and cacao medicine. Yes. Like, that would revolutionize the clubbing world. Like, I love going dancing, but I don't want to be around like debauchery and alcohol. Even the smell of it is like, I don't want to be around it sometimes.
Maybe we need to meet a millionaire that we can create a club.
Anybody in the audience dropping big old hints over here?
I think we're onto something. That's a great fucking idea. But I remember just the power of it and like the energy of the people dancing, and like afterwards it was just like a whole different connection. You know, because I don't know, was it his partner that she sang and did the blessing.
Yes.
And it was beautiful, beautiful. And they honored the ancestors, and it was very beautiful and respectful.
Yes, and speaking of the ancestors, cacao does come from South America. This cacao traveled all the way from Guatemala through a sister from the Mayan tribe there. And so it has come directly from the elders. And that's how I prefer to get my plant medicines. Either it comes to me or I source it directly from the indigenous people.
As we do if we can.
To our best ability, absolutely.
But there's a thing, everyone, as we all know, called alchemy and intentions. So like when I was at Costco, they had raw bags of cacao. And it's like, you can get the smaller size at like Natural Grocers and shit for like $15. They had it for like $10 a bag, 3 times the size. So I grabbed like 3 bags because I put it in my coffee. But I bless it, and I set the intention.
Yeah, and there is a difference, right? Like you're talking about like mass-produced cacao that is sold commercially, and it still has the same power and potency, again, depending on your intention. This is created specifically for ceremony. So there is ceremonial grade cacao, and then there is mass-produced cacao, and they both are just as powerful. But if you are sitting with just cacao in ceremony, then I highly suggest that you do your research. Reach out to me. I have cacao available for sale in my online store that I source and work intentionally with specifically ceremonial cacao by itself before adding in like coffee and other additives, just so that you can really experience that. Because for you were broken and you needed that hard medicine. For me, I was fucking frozen. Like I was so frozen. I couldn't even I was engaged and I felt nothing. I'd been with this person for over 5 years and we were engaged and I felt nothing. I was so locked in my heart and just blasted me open. And then I couldn't function because I was blasted open.
What we wish for.
I know, right? I was like, I went from frozen to flop.
Good times.
Good times. And some days, I still feel like I'm coming back to life. Like, okay, all right, here we go. And working with other heart-specific medicines has helped me develop a modality of heart healing that I now apply, not just in private sessions, but I also apply in ceremonies that I lead.
Yeah, because I enjoyed the cacao central dance that you led.
Yes.
And it helps. For like me personally, I was the only one in that group that was sitting on the ground crying, drinking my cacao, because I realized, because it opened me, like you said, it opened me up, and it's like I was feeling it all, and I realized how disconnected I am touching myself sensually. Because you're leading, you're like, touch yourself lovingly, and I was like, I don't love myself enough to touch myself like that. So
a little backstory here before you continue, because I would love for you to share with our audience your experience with that. So at the beginning of last year, I felt like I had reached a plateau with cacao ceremony. And traditionally, cacao is served thick. You sit, you sip, you meditate. You're very quiet and still. And after working with cacao for a few years and working in ceremony, I felt like it wasn't being used to its maximum potential. Like I could feel that there was something missing, like it needed to go beyond the heart. Yet how? And so I had this vision of cacao ceremony and sensual dance. Now I get asked a lot, like, what is sensual dance and how is that different than sexuality? So sexuality is, well, it's very obvious what that is. Sensuality is the ability to connect with our senses of touch, of taste, of sight, of sound, of smell, and experiencing pleasure, experiencing bliss, experiencing and enjoying and tapping into and really reveling in the experience of being in our physical body and being so immersed with whatever is happening in the moment that you're just like, damn, it feels good to be alive. even if it's scrubbing the toilet, you're like, God damn, I get to scrub this toilet that like takes all my shit and alchemizes it. I don't have to dig any holes or put any sawdust in and carry it down the hill. You know, like I get to wash my dishes and feel the water and the soap cleansing these plates that have held my food, that nourish my body, right? I'm talking about like quote unquote gross things. But the point is, you are so present and you can feel the love, not just coming from you, but coming at you, for you, from whatever's happening in life. And so I hosted my first cacao ceremony and sensual dance on October 30th for Samhain last year. And Timber was one of the first attendants there. It was my opening event for my wellness center that recently expanded. And I'm now running an education temple. And the cacao experiences have gone even more immersive. Very intimate ceremonial experiences are happening. So if you are in town, if you're interested, I invite you to come and experience a cacao ceremony and sensual dance and tell us about your experience with that and how that has shifted you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you. And thanks for sharing that because that is important. And I just want to add something real quick before I forget. And it's beautiful because, like, for me, I struggle doing the traditional meditation where I sit. Like, I can do it, but it's like I'm like all over the fucking place. A lot of times I'm better doing active meditation. You know, sometimes I get more clarity when I go to the gym and I'm like moving my body and I'm tapping. You know what I mean? So the cacao will be able to move and dance and do different things with it versus just sit and just. So
and that's
like,
what the cacao. That's what the cacao told me. It's like we need to move the medicine out of the heart and into the body. And sensuality is a big part of my life. I've written a chapter in Sensual Symphony, one of my books.
Yeah. And for me, I want to tap more into play. So like heart opening is play. It's tapping into the inner child, you know? So like, I love that because it helps me tap into that. So anyways, so my story is like, so anyone who knows, I was still healing. And I was, at that point, I just got here and I was still.
And we had just met like a few days prior.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was still obviously working through some shit. So I literally was in the back of the room watching everybody dance and like doing their thing. And I'm just like sitting there like losing my shit, crying in my cacao. And that's what I needed. That's the medicine I needed. And I'm so grateful for it. And you were kind enough to not even know me yet, but you would still come and comfort me. You would hold space and you would help me breathe through it, you know? Yeah. And as a facilitator, you did an amazing job with that.
Thank you.
And as a friend, you did as well.
Thank you.
So gratitude. But it was beautiful to see. Again, it reminded me of the dance with 200 people. You know, you set that intention, and then you allow people to let it move through them in ways that feels good to them.
And just a quick pause here. The way I lead my cacao ceremony and sensual dance is the first part, it's very guided. Like I guide you from the beginning through the end. I give you cues on what to do, when to do, and really like pay attention. Like Timber mentioned, you know, I've been leading ceremonies for years. So I'm very acutely aware of everybody's energy in the room. And the first part of the experience is self-exploration. And the second part of the experience is exploration with another, very consent-based. There's rules of touch, what is allowed to be engaged with, what is not. And I'm an eagle eye. You cross the line, you're kicked out. You don't get a second chance. So anyway, continue now. We're like, well, how do we do this? What are we doing? I tell you.
So her eagle eye saw the fact that I couldn't get past self-touch. I couldn't even
He's just like standing there rocking, looking at the crowd. I'm like, homeboy, let me help you.
I couldn't even get to self-touch. So, but it's helped me expand beyond that because that was also helping me realize the work I needed to work on for myself with that, and shift and tap into like a new way of calling on cacao to be like, please help me with this now. You know, so it's just like, that's what I love about cacao. It's just like with it being heart opening. It doesn't always have to be a negative thing, but it could also be a thing of like, okay, where am I lacking in my life on my emotional level, my mental level, my spiritual level? And can I call in the ancestors and the medicine to help me at least expand enough to where, you can take that baby step that day, because some days you feel like you can stride, and some days like you're just fucking inching, or some days you feel like you just got your ass handed and you're like 30 feet backwards all of a sudden, and you're like, fuck, I'm just going to stay here and be in my hot mess in my fetal position.
Right. And all of that is valid and okay.
Yes, all of it. And it's welcomed. That's being human. Like you and me are both huge on feeling the feels and not shoving them aside, so it's like, and you and me both hold space for people. I think we're both known as being good at holding space for people.
We are like, space holders.
When they're like, ah, and you're like, got you.
Come on, let's go.
Let's breathe. Let's do this.
You feel better now?
Yeah. Yeah. So the medicine of the cacao and the different ceremonies, and I'm excited to see how our communities can take this and keep expanding on it and keep using it to help ourselves and help our hearts. And, you know what I mean? I
would love for you to dive deeper into the sensual aspect of things. There's like, you talk about inner child play, and yes, however, sensuality brings that adult aspect into it, because little children aren't going around like, ooh, my boobies, they're like, ew, so like, yes, it brings a measure of play, but the thing about sensuality is it takes away the pressure for sexual connection. You don't have to have chemistry with another person to appreciate.
That is truth.
Their beauty and their strength and their flaws and their scars, right? You get to like, wow, I get to feel you, and I get to give you just my loving touch and attention, and I get to receive you, and there's no pressure for like dating or sexual connection, and I do set this boundary before my circles, like if you find attraction with someone, communicate with them after circle. But do not carry that expectation that just because someone has gotten all sweet and soft with you, that now all of a sudden you're a couple.
Yes.
Right? So that's something that I do want to point out, because sensuality is about like that playful, sexy engagement with self.
The adult play.
The adult play, minus the like, I need to have a raging orgasm right now.
Yes.
Right? It like pulls that sexual energy, because sexual energy is an exchange in the outer world, but the sensual energy is an inner exchange, even when you are engaging with another.
Right? Yeah. And for me, sensual stuff is hard for me personally, because one, the way I've been raised in the situations I've had, I don't have a lot of trust for other people. And a lot of people I've come across, I'm not always welcome. I've always been like the outsider, which I'm okay with. I own that shit. I'm a proud outsider. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to look like everybody else.
How refreshing.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So with that being said, it also makes it to where I've been alone a lot. And so like when I make ecstatic dance, I'm still not there to join in the amoeba. And if anyone knows what amoeba is, it's where everybody like in the group is like touch. They're like, it could be like 3 people. It could be like 30. It could be 100 people all like touching and rolling around. I am not there yet. I'm like, well, no.
And me too, even though I do sensual dance and I host sensual circles, like that's not my vibe either. And one thing I do ask in my sensual dances is like, please shower and wear something sensual, because like we're getting intimate, and sometimes an amoeba happens in sensual dance, but it's a very small container.
Yes.
And you've taken time already to like connect with yourself and see how other people are connecting with themselves. And then it just becomes an organic flow rather than I just came from the gym or working all day. I'm already sweaty and hot. Now I want to dance with you. Get away from me. Go take a shower.
Truce.
Anyway, continue with your amoeba story.
But yeah, so like for me, like sensual, receiving touch, because I'm still healing my heart, I'm still having a hard time receiving loving, compassionate touch. And in our society, especially in America, like you said, we have these preconceived notions that if someone is nice to us, if someone is gently like, oh, they're like, oh my God, they like me. They want me. Because we're not used to people being that fucking nice to us. And like being present. So when people are present, like it's easy for our brains to just be like, oh my God, I'm attracted to this person and I want them because they want me. As opposed to just like learning how to just like step back from that concept and to learn to just receive in an authentic and raw way
and
without attachment.
Right. And there's a reason why there's this instant association with kindness and sexual connection. It's because it's programmed in everything. A girl looks at you and flirts with you. Oh, she wants to fuck me. That's not the case. I just honestly like your fucking shirt. Can I say that without it becoming something?
Seriously.
And vice versa, right? Like, why can't a man offer a nice compliment to a woman without it meaning anything, without it threatening their partners? Like, wow, she looks nice today. I'm appreciating the goddess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm appreciating the God. That's it. I remember that fiance I was talking about, after we were engaged, we were up in Seattle out for drinks one night, and this man walked in and he had a really nice coat on. And I complimented him on his coat. I was like, wow, that's a really nice jacket. And then I turned around and I was just doing my own thing. Lost it. We got into one of the biggest fights of our life that night. All because I paid a compliment to a man. And this was before I was like really empowered in my sensuality, because I've always been a very Venusian creature. And as a brown woman, I've had to do some work around like the conditioning of women in the East of speak when you're spoken to and wear a shroud, which I'm just like, no. Also, like you, I'm an outlier, very loud and proud about it.
Yeah.
So it's been a life's work, so I honor you and I honor your courage to share your experience about your journey into sensuality and touch, because it's very different than sexual touch. I can connect with you and I know that you feel the difference of like, this is a loving touch, not, come on, let's go to the bedroom, honey. Let's go now. You can feel the difference.
Yes.
But that's because I've done my work to recognize my boundaries energetically.
And you're not throwing, what was that?
Siren energy?
Well, that or leaky sexual energy. Like I've seen men especially at ecstatic dance, that energetically they have that very creepy, like, yeah, you want me, you know, and I'm like, and I don't enjoy that. You know what I mean?
That's one of we met at ecstatic dance, and that's one of the reasons why I approached you. Well, many reasons, but one of the reasons is I felt your energy. I'm like, he's just a man who's here to dance. He's not here to like energetically mindfuck somebody. And I want to know this person because we need more men like this in our world who are just like taking responsibility of their energy and doing the work.
Yeah. There's a difference, and it's just like, a lot of men aren't taught how we're thinking and how we're being is so received, seen, felt from those around us. You know what I mean? So it's like, especially with our sisters, I'm a protector. So I'm not trying to like throw out all those things. I try to be very respectful wherever I'm at, whether it's women, children, men, like, you know what I mean? Like my work is to try to see men as brothers, not enemies. My work is to see women as my sisters, not objects, not things I want to sleep with or own or control. It's not any of that. It's just like, I see the goddess in you and I honor you in your journey. You know what I mean? And it's like, becoming with it from that approach, it helps for me to control my container. Because when I start seeing everyone as brothers and sisters, it takes that sexuality, lot of that out of that.
It does.
And it's just like, I'm just there to be heart to heart. You know what I mean?
So I'm curious, Timber, like ever since that experience, which was several months ago, almost a year ago now, how has that changed you? Like, are you continuing to explore sensuality in your life? And what kind of practices do you cultivate in everyday life to tap into that sensuality? Have you been connecting and using the cacao to help you expand into that?
No, not like I should.
Perhaps an invitation now, an inspiration.
Well, I have been recently, just because I currently have a partner.
You don't need a partner, people, to tap into your sensuality.
You don't.
It helps.
It does. It does. By having a partner has helped me to learn to receive. And by receiving in a way that is authentic and raw, it's been helping me receive it within myself again. You know, it's almost like I needed that jump start. You know what I mean? I needed that clear. You know, I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, there it is.
Wow, my body wants soft touch that doesn't lead somewhere.
I didn't realize I needed help with my heart being jump started, so to speak. You know what I mean? It was the healing has been done, a lot of it. It's just, but it was like still behind walls and still very contained. That's why I was struggling to touch in my own self, because I couldn't receive love really from myself as much, nor someone else. But when I allowed a goddess to love me, then I'm like, it helped me break down the walls within myself as well. So now I'm able to like feel it more than I could before. And I do feel like the cacao does help me. I haven't intentionally sat and tried that, but it would be a good thing to do.
So perhaps over the next 7 days, you know, between now and the next time you come on and share about your experience with cacao, you could go on a 7-day journey and talk about it in your video. About like, okay, over the next 7 days, or over the past 7 days, I went on this experience with intentionally connecting with cacao and my sensuality.
Damn, that's a really good idea.
I think it's a great idea. And it would really speak to a lot of men, right? If you could share that personal experience, because I feel like this piece of sensuality, I mean, we're going a little off topic here, and we'll come back to the cacao and plant medicines in a moment, but I feel like this piece of sensuality is really important. For all genders. But as a masculine, you know, and someone who is choosing to be a face for the men out in our world today, those who choose to receive, you know, you could, I see you as a bridge, right? As a bridge, and as an example of, yes, that experience with Lady Drasmin jump-started me, and then I kind of like wasn't intentional. But now there's these invitations here, you know, this is my journey and I want to hear yours. You know, because people, they're leaders and they're followers, and you're a leader.
You keep telling me I'm a leader, and I'm like, I am not a fucking leader.
Well,
I appreciate that. I appreciate you seeing me that way.
You wouldn't be here if you weren't a leader. I'll say that, you know, because I collaborate only with leaders. It's just part of my work.
Right. That's why I feel like that's why I relate to Lion King so much, because I'm a reluctant king. I'm a reluctant leader.
I've never asked for positions of leadership in my life, but I've had to learn how to accept with grace or time eventually the positions of leadership that I've been thrust into. And now that, you know, I'm running this education temple that has people visiting from all over the world, you know, it's like the culmination of soul work that I've done to create sacred spaces that allow people to come in and discover their own leadership, right? And a leader isn't necessarily always about leading others. A leader always begins with leading self.
Yeah.
So we could be followers and leaders, right? We could be leaders for ourselves and still follow another. So when I talk about leadership, I talk about self-leadership first and foremost. So yeah, I am curious to see what happens in your video in the next 7 days, and how you can tap into the sensual energy for you without your goddess presence, because I feel like that's really important for the healing of the masculine collective at this time. Agreed.
And I'm a huge, well, I don't want to say huge, but I'm stepping into that consciousness of breaking the stereotypes of like us needing another human being.
Right.
Versus like we are who we are, they're who they are, and we're stronger shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
I mean, granted, yeah, there's a certain level of you needing somebody, but you know what I mean? So
something that I want to point out, and the last thing I want to share about the sensual piece before we come back into plant medicines, is tapping into my own sensuality inadvertently broke the codependency cycles in my life. Like, that was not my intention. But the more I connected with my sensual energy, the less codependent I was on external.
That's fair.
For inner satisfaction. And my sensual practice, and I talk about this practice in my chapter in Sensual Symphony, Embracing Feminine Sensuality, is every day after I shower, I take a few moments and I oil my body. Sometimes, that goes like 5 to 30 minutes, if I really take my time, but at least that's like a non-negotiable practice. I take a moment in front of the mirror, stand naked, and just look at my curves, rub oil into myself, whisper sweet lovings into my body. And it's a practice I've done for many years. And with my partners, when I've had them, I've basically like dragged them by the ponytail and made them sit the fuck down and receive the oiling. And now they're like, man, I really miss that. I'm like, yeah, of course you do. It's awesome. But you can do it for yourself.
Yeah.
and beyond the oiling of the body, right? There's other ways, like the way you comb your hair, really taking a moment to brush it, comb your beard, comb your pubes, like really taking the time to like dress and engage the magic of this body that you get to adorn.
Truth.
And love up. And the depths that we show up for ourselves is the depths that we're able to show up for another.
Truth again.
Right. So the more we are able to tap into our own sensuality and what brings us pleasure through the use of plant medicines, through our own and intention, cacao and other plant medicines, the deeper in alignment and empowered sovereignty we embody.
Agreed.
And then we become that leader without trying.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it. So anything else you would like to share about cacao before switching into perhaps maybe 2 other plant medicines that you work with?
Well, it's been beautiful just watching it become more popular. I don't want to say popular. No, popular is not the right word. I'm grateful to see it showing up in more ceremonies and in more social situations and more in conversations. And I love seeing my brothers and my sisters just being like, just very grateful and allowing that in their hearts and to have those experiences and those connections. We need all the help we can get. It's hard being a human being. So like the medicine that helps open a heart.
Why not?
Like, really, come on.
And for anyone who's curious, no, it is not psychoactive. If you experience visions, it's because you are tapped into your own bliss space. It's not because of the plant medicine of cacao.
Yes.
So just a little disclosure out there for those who are like, have never had cacao and are like, is it going to make me hallucinate and see visions? No, it's not.
You know what's funny is I made a little video of how I bless my cacao. Because I bless my cacao the way I bless my cannabis.
Perfect segue to like talk about another shared plant medicine ally. Yes.
So I did a video of that. And I remember one of the comments I saw on YouTube was like, this guy's like, that's blasphemy. You should go to be a Catholic. And I was like, over cacao? Like, I just saw that and I just laughed. I was like, I see you 3D.
I see you 3D. So let's talk about cannabis and let's talk about this blessing, right? Because this blessing, you brought it into my life. And now I use it every time I smoke my herbal cigarettes. And it's just like, I just do the quick, above, below, within.
Nice.
So I would love for you to share your prayer and your blessing that you bring in with your plant medicine use.
Ooh, this makes me so nervous.
Oh, I love it.
Did you know I always get nervous sharing this? Okay.
You got this.
So for instance, with plant medicines, whether it's cannabis or cacao, I'm aware that for one, it comes from Creator, and two, Mama Gaia, and then the medicine itself. So in my brain, I created this for cannabis originally, but like I use it for cacao. In my mind, I like doing things in pyramids or triangles and threes. I'm big threes. So, and to me, Creator's Mama. Like, I say Mama Creator. I don't like God. Like that's like nails on a chalkboard to me, but that's my own thing. Anyways, get off topic. So I do that. So,
everyone tap into the Goddess episode if you're interested in hearing more about Timber's perspectives on God and Goddess.
Yes. So I call in, I'm like, Mama Creator, Mama Gaia, medicine, the cacao, and I connect all of them. And then I put my hand above it and I say, please bless this with love, healing, help me connect deeper within myself and to all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever else we need,
mm-hmm.
whether like I'm struggling like with creativity,
mm-hmm.
abundance,
mm-hmm.
Perspective on a situation,
mm-hmm.
whatever's happening,
mm-hmm.
I'm like, can you please help me with this?
Mm-hmm.
And then after I say that,
mm-hmm.
I'm always like, as above, so below, medicine within.
Mm-hmm.
And I always put it towards my heart
mm-hmm.
and just show gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
But it always changes.
Mm-hmm.
It changes it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but that's, so that was...
Such a beautiful prayer. And in fact, when Timber shared this prayer with me in a very casual conversation one day, we were just hanging out, it inspired a ceremony.
That was fun.
Which was amazing. So for solstice of last year of 2020, what year are we in? So solstice of 2024, we decided to co-host a cannabis holy smokes ceremony. Like I like to call it cannabis instead of cannabis because it's so fucking blissful and I love it. Like I'll smoke weed till the day I die unless she tells me otherwise. But she keeps telling me that it's my jam. So anyway, and I also make smoking blends called Holy Smokes. And I infuse prayers, chop up all the herbs, really listen to the plant medicines. And so I created this because we were in the energy of solstice. I created this shadow integration smoking blend. And I made these little herbal cigarettes and we all sat in ceremony and intentionally smoked the medicine. He brought in his prayer. And I do these holy smoke ceremonies on the equinoxes and on the solstices, so 4 times a year. And in fact, I have to show this. For this ceremony, Timber created this beautiful art piece.
Oh, thank you.
And on the back of it is the prayer that he shared. So if any of you is interested in receiving a copy of this, it's a PDF download and print. I invite you to check out the link in the description box and support both this beautiful artist and the medicines that we create. If you're interested in Holy Smokes blends, those are available in my online shop as well. And I have that in my house now. I have it with my smoking blend herbal shelf, and I have it on an altar because I sit with plant medicines every day. People think I smoke weed all the time, which sometimes, yes, but not. Truly, I really smoke like my smoking blends. But cannabis, right? Let's talk a little bit about that because that's another very popular, there's that word coming up, right? Becoming more well-known, well-used plant medicine. And in fact, like it was one of the top 5 medicines of Chinese physicians in the King's Court, right? I mean, we see cannabis show up in Egyptian mythology. We see cannabis show up in Sumerian, right? We see cannabis show up in Andean mythology, right? So cannabis is one of those revered plants. Now, I didn't start smoking cannabis until I was in my late 20s. And I was still in the medical field. And I had to work through a lot of programming, both my indoctrination upbringing, my medical upbringing. So I had to work through a lot of dogma and distortion around cannabis and what it was. So when I started smoking cannabis, it was only right before meditation. I was very scientific about it. Wrote down exactly how much I smoked. 0.5 grams of pineapple upside down cake. This is what it tasted like. This is how it made me feel. 1 hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later. Like I was meticulous.
Did you make charts?
I had fucking notebooks, okay? And I really wish I had scanned these notebooks because I ended up burning all of it.
Oh, that'd been amazing.
I know, right? I know. I like look back, I'm like, God damn, woman, I didn't think that through, but I was just like...
you sent to the ethers. And
right, yeah. Like I did this for almost 2 years, and that was the only time I smoked cannabis.
Wow.
So like I entered plant medicine. That was not, what's that? Yeah, cannabis was the very first plant medicine that I ever sat with. And I sat with the intention for the first year of like, help me break fear. And it did.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, it did. And I was very respectful about it. So when Timber brought this prayer into my life, I was like, we got to share this with the people because cannabis is sadly highly abused.
Extremely.
Highly abused.
Extremely.
Highly abused. So I smoke cannabis regularly, but usually as a pinch with my Holy Smokes blend. It's rare that I smoke big old fatty joints. I usually do it with friends or if I'm celebrating. But I combine it with other plant allies that are not psychoactive for different properties and healing properties that they bring into my life. And I truly do believe and emphasize the importance of letting your body and your brain develop before you participate in plant medicines, if that is a choice for you. And I say if that is a choice for you because I have met medicine women who continue to journey with plant medicines when they're pregnant. And if that's the case, then you've already been introduced to plant medicines and you're from inception, your molecular biochemistry has been altered. And that's not to say, start smoking joints at the age of 7. That's simply like awareness and an invitation to put the joint down if you're 16 or 17 watching this video and let your body develop because the body is physiologically still developing into your late 20s. And people look at me and they're like, wow, you're a really functional stoner. I'm like, yeah, I can do big old dabs and then go and crunch numbers. And most people I know cannot do that.
I cannot. I'm out in the store fucking.
But I feel like part of that is because I allowed my body to develop. I allowed my intelligence to develop naturally, the traditional way, writing, memorizing, testing. And then I added plant medicines after I was fully developed to amplify my innate intelligence and cultivate it. And I feel like it has definitely made a difference. And I've noticed that difference as well in people who've come into my life who are early smokers versus late in life smokers. So I would love for you to share your experience with cannabis and how that has supported and changed your life.
Cool. Yeah. So I, like most people, I was in high school and my dad got really sick with cancer. And so I had to quit playing sports and I had to get a job to help my mom pay bills. Mm-hmm. And, so I was a jock, super, no drugs, no blah, blah, blah. Got a job as a dishwasher.
There we go.
With
those
brothers,
Mexicans.
With my brothers. And, it's like, they all started smoking weed. And I was like, I don't know what this is. But then once I started, because my life sucked. My life fucking sucked. My dad was dying. I was working. Life just sucked. Mm-hmm. So it was a way to find joy and get away. And I'm sure you can relate. My mind is 100 miles per hour all the time. So it's a way to slow it down where I can process things in a different way. I can see the beauty. I can see lessons. Fast forward. And a year ago, no, that's not true. A couple years ago, I did ayahuasca for the first time. I've only sat with Aya once, grandmother once. And
hint, hint, people, you do not need to be sitting with ayahuasca every week. If you are, that's not a good thing.
No, if grandmother calls me, I'll show up. But otherwise, she's with me already.
Yeah.
And she works through cannabis. She works through all the other ways.
She is grandmother.
There's a reason why she's called grandmother.
Right.
So anyways, I started hearing almost like her wisdoms connecting with cannabis when I was smoking. And I was like, oh, this is a plant medicine.
After you sat with Aya.
Yes.
Okay.
And after that, I realized marijuana or cannabis was plant medicine. And I was like, wait, what? And so that concept shifted everything. And so the deeper I sat with it, and I just started showing a different kind of gratitude for it. But as I was giving more gratitude, that prayer started coming to me. And then I realized that the goddess of the plant is Santa Maria. And I also found out that Santa Maria is also known as Master Mary Magdalene. And so there's and what's beautiful about cannabis is there's a shadow side to it. And so
if Mary's smoking that ganja, Yeshua definitely was puffing on the sacred pipe.
You know it. And I you know, a lot of times, I ask Yeshua to help bless it too. You know, he's there. So the beautiful thing about that is it changed everything for me. Because when I start inviting and specifically calling and being like, please come show me your medicine, help me connect deeper within me and you. And it did. That's why I say I go way out there, is because I go way the fuck out there. You know?
The power of intention and belief can truly like take you beyond that the plant medicine takes you.
Seriously. I still wonder how many of my neighbors think I'm batshit crazy when I'm out there at 1 a.m. and I have my third eye against a tree and I'm just like holding on.
Look at this big old dude chugging a tree at 1 a.m. Children, go back inside.
And I'm just like, I love you. Or I'm just so gone. Like I'm so connected. I'm like traveling and I'm like feeling and I'm learning. But the point is, it's just like, it's changing it to not being just like, it's like anything, it's awareness. And it's, to me, it's respect and honor. It's giving love back to Mama Gaia. And the goddess of the plant, you know? And so it's just like learning how to integrate it and how to use it in different ways of integration. And only that, to use it to help us while we're integrating big life shit. You know?
And with that said, right, like cannabis is a great ally to support with integration. And I will absolutely add in, because I can hear my elders in my ear right now, all but screaming, the highest level of integration happens sober.
Yes, it does.
So it helps.
It's a tool.
It's a tool. Yet please use, again, discernment to not become codependent on cannabis or other plant medicines to help you integrate, because then you're constantly in that cycle of addiction.
Yes. Like for me personally, I will not participate until the end of the day, at night, late at night. Like I make it to where I want to be in my human experience all day long, and all the uncomfy and all the joy and all the things in between. I want to be away, fully aware of all of that.
Really feel it.
Really, really feel it. And then at night, it's almost like, I don't want to say a reward, but it's just a way of like allowing my mind to finally slow down so I can sleep and I can breathe and I can process it. And I'm like, okay, this all happened. Can you give me a different perspective on this? So it's just a matter of like using it. You know what I mean?
I do.
Because I have a lot of friends that are just like, they wake up, they smoke, and they smoke all day long. And which is cool. They're functioning. They can do that. But I cannot, and I choose not to. It's kind of like I don't drink. I choose not to.
Yeah. And I love that you shared that, because for me, you know, I don't wake up and toke. I mean, there was a period where I was in the shadow of addiction. I was just like getting up and ripping the bong and killing my lungs. But I do sometimes smoke throughout the day. But I use a little pinch with my smoking blends. So it looks like I'm smoking 17. It's not ever 17. But it looks like I'm smoking just joints all day. But it's really my smoking blends. And similar to you, when I'm feeling extra emotional, I will definitely not smoke any plants. I will roll it and I will sit. And I will wait for the intensity of my emotions to pass before participating in cannabis and other plant medicines, because then I am allowing myself to experience the raw depth of my human experience. And unlike you, I don't usually smoke at the end of the day because I do a lot of dream work and it upsets my dream space. So I usually don't smoke at the end of the day, or at least like 2 hours before bed, so I can be very clear in the quantum dream work that I do. So again, you know, it's about finding the pattern, the rhythm, the strength, the amount that works for you, right? This, like working with plant medicines, like working with any medicines, working with fucking anything in life is not standardized. We are individual sovereigns. And so how we connect with plant medicines is going to be individualistic.
Yeah. Because what works for one person doesn't work for the other.
Definitely not.
You know?
You could take pieces from here and start applying them and see if they work for you. But ultimately, intention, belief, and consistency is what's going to bring results.
It's true. Because like since I moved to Oregon.
And sober integration.
Everybody, it seems like mushrooms are huge out here in Oregon. Everybody's like microdosing or eating mushrooms. Like I've gone to the market and listened to like 90-year-old people talk about how, yeah, I just ate a bag of mushrooms the other night. And I'm like, wow. But like for me, like plant mushrooms aren't my medicine. Like maybe here and there, but I don't crave, I'm not like, you know, it's kind of like grandmother Aya. It's just like, but cannabis has always just been
present,
my medicine, you know, because again, I don't drink. So it's like, but it works so beautiful with me. And I just love the way it helps me work and go and do things, you know, because sometimes when I'm sober, putting my third eye against the tree is not the same as is after I set my intentions. I create a little ceremony and then I do that. I'm way more further out there. Do I wish I was able to get there sober? Fuck yes, I do.
And by the way, people, you absolutely can.
Yes.
You're not tapped into that yet because it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time to build the direct connection with God's source, Great Spirit, especially when you're breaking multi-generation cycles of dissociation, dysfunction, disbelief, distortion, disease, whatever. Insert here. Insert here. Yeah. So we've talked about cacao and we've talked about cannabis. Is there another plant medicine that you work with regularly or semi-regularly that you feel called to talk about and share?
I don't. Those are pretty much my two main ones. You know, I've sat with, it wasn't boof, it was what's the frog medicine?
Combo?
Yeah. That's intense. Holy fuck.
Not quite plant medicine.
Not quite, but it's like
it's still a medicine.
It's considered almost like a cousin of it or something.
Yeah,
in a weird,
in
its own
I mean,
way.
it's still in the natural kingdom.
Yeah, but like
plant medicine specifically, though.
But the blends you made, the smoking blends, like Yumi pitched in, and we got bags of Blue Lotus. So that I enjoy also breaking up and incorporating into my smoke as well at times. Sometimes like I'm like I can hear Isis and Hathor Blue Lotus tonight. And I'm like, got it. And I'll add that in there. But yeah, otherwise it's just like the natural, but it's also seeing things, plant medicines and everything. Like you are one of the few that have helped me see that and connect it, whether it's like even the coffee, even the vegetables we eat, even like everything, our herbs, our spices. Like how many people are in the kitchen and they bless the spices? Can you imagine?
Like literally, thank you. That's your blessing. It doesn't have to be a drawn out prayer over 6 hours with the bells and the chimes and the flagons of incense, you know. I mean, if you want to go that far, you absolutely can. But a simple thank you.
It is totally okay to smudge your herbs, by the way, in the kitchen. Or call on the dragons to like fly through and clear all energy in your space. Right. But anyways, yeah, so it's just like it's seeing, it's expanding. It's like trying to see Hawkeye perspective. And then you start to realize plant medicine is everything.
Everything, yes. I love that you brought that in. I love that you brought that in as the third plant medicine to talk about because, again, you know, we think of plant medicine as like these psychoactive plants, but truly pepper and salt and the different herbs that we use, the kale, the potatoes, the food that we eat is medicine.
Yeah.
Our nourishment is medicine. Yeah. Can you allow yourself to look at your food as nutritious and delicious, as pleasure and medicine? You know, like I have been a kitchen mother for years and preparing and nourishing my people. Timber knows is one of my biggest giving love languages. And people can feel the difference in the food that I make. They're like, wow, that bowl of soup changed my life. It's just beans, yo. But it's beans that have been soaking for a few days and massaged and cleaned and like chants poured into it and just like my love and attention. And then 5 days later, it gets boiled with some bay leaves. And you're like, oh my God, I feel so nourished. It's because it's gone through this process of alchemy and intention and infusion and just like prayers into that. It's just a pot of beans. Or is it?
It used to be.
It used to be a pot of beans, right? Yeah. And Blue Lotus, Blue Lotus is definitely, I work extensively with plant medicines. I mean, I have a shelf right now with like over 30 jars of different herbs, and I make custom smoking blends. I make custom tea blends based on your needs in the moment. So if anyone's interested, reach out to me. And I work with both psychoactive and non-psychoactive plants, and I'll touch briefly on Blue Lotus. So Blue Lotus is it is a psychoactive plant. It can induce visions, and the Blue Lotus was used by the Egyptians originally in temple only, and they would make concentrated batches of Blue Lotus tea to induce shamanic trance-like states to journey into the God realm and receive downloads. Like the priests and priestesses would sit with Blue Lotus. And so when I started working with Blue Lotus, it was as a tea. And now I use Blue Lotus in most of my smoking blends, not all, most, because Blue Lotus helps us tap into our deepest subconscious in a gentle way that brings it out. So Blue Lotus is a really powerful plant ally. I also want to bring into the conversation mullein, which is also smoking and a tea herb. And mullein is one of the only plants that will repair your lung tissue when you smoke it.
I thought it was nettle.
No, it's mullein.
It's mullein.
Uh-huh.
What were you saying nettle does? Or were you talking about nettle?
No, I wasn't talking.
It was mullein?
I did make nettle tea the other night.
Okay, that's where my brain
But
is.
I had mullein and nettle in it. So mullein is like a base in all my smoking blends and most of my teas because I smoke so much and because it's so good for our lungs. And like we live in a polluted world.
Where would you suggest to get
mullein? I mean, mullein is a very commonly grown plant, so you can find mullein. I would not recommend picking your mullein in the city.
Nah.
And the smaller, younger leaves are better than the older leaves. That tends to apply for most plant medicines. You want the younger ones, not the babies, but not the old ones either, just like the teen size. You can also find mullein in your local herb shop. It's a very common plant, so you can find
I
it.
have to go buy myself.
Yeah. I'm excited for my mullein plants to come in, and there's nothing like growing my own herbs. I'm just like so grateful that I have the ability and the space to grow most of my herbs. So a lot of the herbs that you receive, I have grown and I have poured my love into.
That's awesome.
Plant medicines changed my life. Not only changed, but saved my life. Without this intentional relation, I cannot see my life in any other way than in symbiosis with the natural kingdom, because we are made of the same elements as the plants. And even the shamans, and science has even proven this now recently, that when you consume and participate with the plants, whether they're psychoactive or not, when you eat vegetables and fruit from the same area that you live, then your body will naturally and easier receive those nutrients because you and those plants are receiving the same amount of light, the same amount of water, the same air. And so your body is already like familiar. So you're able to receive more nutrition from ingesting plants and herbs that are in your local area.
I love that. And
in fact, if you do grow your own herbs and plants and you spit into the soil, if you offer your blood, if men, you cut yourselves, you can put your tissue in the soil. And women, when you bleed, offer your blood to the plants. Please dilute it, otherwise you'll shock the plants. I learned that the hard way. Plants are such fucking intelligent beings. I mean, they've been here before us. They will continue to be after us. Okay, so like, don't be fooled. They hear, they know. But science has shown, like, if you offer your fluids Don't shit in the soil. That's going to fuck up your plants, okay? I just have to say that because I've seen some, I'm like, oh, honey, that is not what I meant. But if you offer your fluids to the plants, then the plants will read your DNA and they will adapt to produce fruit, to produce the medicine that fills in the gaps of what your body's not getting.
That's amazing.
It's so fucking amazing. Like how intelligent they are and instantaneous they are in their response.
Well, it's just like, you talk to the shamans in the rainforest and stuff, in the jungles, and they're like, that plant over there will kill you. That plant 20 feet away will heal you from that plant. And it's the balance is everywhere.
Right.
Like it's all around.
Yeah. And pharmaceuticals are derived from plants. They're just supplements.
The supplements we take.
Uh-huh.
Like I bless my supplements too.
Yeah, your supplements are plant medicines, right? Your medications that you're taking, they've come from plants. I mean, I have gotten so deep in my plant medicine journey that I don't even have aspirin in my house anymore. Like there's absolutely no need for me to take any medicines because I get everything that I need from the plants. And I am so in tune with myself now after years of work that I can notice like, oh, I'm starting to feel a little run down. Let's pop in some garlic. Oh, I'm starting to feel a little off. Let's take some echinacea and elderberry. It's like, I just know. And when I make teas for my guests, they're always like, oh, this is the tea that I needed. It's because I'm listening to the plants and I'm setting the container and providing the base medicine for everyone. And it was like, yeah, this is exactly what I needed. And even though it's the same plant, everybody will have a different experience because what they need, the plant will give to them.
Oh, I love this.
And you've experienced that when you have tea, you're like, oh my God, that tea is so fucking good. It's just like mullein and red raspberry leaf, but it doesn't taste the same as somebody else making the same tea because of the intention that goes into it.
True.
So any final words around plant medicines and how to create an intentional relationship for a beginner?
Well, you've expressed a lot of that in a beautiful way, and I love that. So, I don't know if I have that much more to offer besides like you. I'm grateful for the plant medicines in my life too. They have helped me a lot. And yeah, I mean, in all honesty, like you said, it's helped me get through some of the hardest, probably one of the hardest transitions I've ever went through in my life. And just so grateful. Yeah, so fucking grateful. And but it does change things, and it reminds you that also to be a steward of Mama Gaia, to really deepen your gratitude, to expand, like I said, Hawkeye perspective of really stepping back and seeing the fullness of the medicines around us. And it's needed because we've gotten so far out, and it's like the pharmaceutical company, they don't give a fuck about us. They just want their money. They will kill us and give us all these other symptoms.
Same with doctors. Most doctors out there, they don't care.
No, they're getting paid from those companies to say you should take this drug. So like we need to take our power back. And so how do we do that? We have to go back to the old ways and relearn the ancient ways. Yeah.
And it really starts with simple ingredients, people. Like, if you're curious about like, well, where do I start? Simple ingredients. If it says modified, put that shit down.
Yes.
Why would you want something modified in your body?
Yeah.
Like just use your critical thinking.
Yeah.
And make that empowered decision for yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, and to just go back again, I'm grateful for the wisdoms you've passed on to me and everybody else that I have come across in my journey that have passed on wisdoms of how to expand with the plant medicine realm. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. And I invite all the rest of you to expand into that realm.
So Timber here is going to be on a journey for the next 7 days with Cacao and his sensuality. And we are all looking forward to hearing about it. No pressure.
Both.
It's going to be amazing. And I love it. And you can call me every night crying your eyeballs out. I will happily hold you and hold space for you.
And I will be crying.
And there will be tears and it will be amazing. And the last thing I want to share about plant medicines is if you're really finding yourself challenged with a starting point and, just like the idea of creating an intentional relationship with your food is a difficult start. Start with the trees. Go out there and sit under a tree and just breathe and allow yourself to connect with the greatest plant medicine out there. I mean, for me, trees are number one. They're my fucking bae. Like I literally tattooed Gaia onto myself and took vows to be an eco warrior. And I have a podcast, Tree Talks, for those of you who've been following me. And if you haven't, or if you're new, or if you're curious, I invite you to go check out Tree Talks, where me and another beautiful woman, we channel wisdoms from trees and share about trees. But really, your number one connecting point that you may not be aware of, where you're already connecting with plant medicines, is your breath. The breath, that oxygen that you receive, is a plant medicine. And we don't even realize it.
That's true.
We're already receiving the plant medicine. Can you deepen your connection with that breath by just sitting under a tree and just like, wow, this fucking tree took all that carbon dioxide, so gladly gobbled it up, and gave me fucking oxygen. And now I get to drink cacao and get more of that oxygen. Holy shit. What a gift.
Right?
What a gift, people. So breath.
I like that.
Breath. There's your plant medicine gift for the day. The bonus one. The key one. The main one is your bonus one today.
Take your power back.
Take your power back one breath at a time. One forehead to the tree at 1 a.m. at a time.
You know it. And be okay dancing by yourself, crying, looking like you're batshit fucking crazy.
And if you want to record a video and send it to one of us privately, we'll be like, yeah.
Seriously, cheer you on.
Yeah, I am all about celebrating and empowering people. And Timber knows, like, I will embrace you in your raw mess, because that is what makes you wildly, amazingly human.
Yes.
Especially the mess.
The mess is where the magic is.
Right. Absolutely.
That's where growth is. Growth is the mess. It's a beautiful mess. That's why we keep talking about, like, we need to learn to, like, embrace being a hot mess, because it's okay that we're not okay. Yeah. None of us are okay anymore.
Yeah. And, a lot of people who come to my ceremonies and circles, especially cacao ceremony and sensual dance, I always encourage, and I say this often throughout the ceremonies, like, embrace your sacred mess right now. Embrace it.
There's so much shifts and going on, and it's just like, there's so much fear and anger, and it's like, which is also needed. We need. Fear
is healthy. Fear shows us where our boundaries have been crossed. Fear shows us our growing edges. Fear shows us our perceived limitations.
But what I would like to invite too is just like, even with cacao, it's just like when they're sitting there with the chaos that is going on in the world right now, it's to just like allow ourselves to open our hearts and connect and focus on our own. Because the thing is, we're all connected, whether we realize it or not. So it's like, we may not like who's running the shows, but
we can take charge of who's running our internal show.
Yeah, so we can call in our love and anchor it in the Mama Gaia, into the collective, And it just spreads. So my invitation to that is just heal ourselves, heal yourself,
and if
love
you're
yourself.
Right. And if you are looking for plant medicines to support you in this deeper journey of discovering self, whether it's through cacao or other plant medicines, I invite you to take a look at my online shop and see if something calls you. And if you don't find something in there, reach out to me and I'm happy to make a custom blend for you and send it to you, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be of service and to provide integrative, immersive experiences from the comfort of your home, or if you're in town, come and experience one of my immersive ceremonial experiences and find out for yourself what I and we're all about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So thank you so much for being here today. I am absolutely in love with this conversation today, and so much gratitude for you, for your presence, for being here, sticking through the end. I love to know when people stick around to the end. So tell us, what was your takeaway on this? Tell us what plant medicine you have been working with or are now inspired to work with. And we look forward to tuning in next week, receiving Timber's share. The following week, you'll hear from me, and then tune back in 3 weeks for another episode of He Vibes, She Vibes, He Dives, She Vibes here on this channel over another batch of sacred cacao medicine.
Gratitude.
Blessing.